is nothing more than relative relationships between objects and processes. The time that we use is not absolute time, but rather it is always relative to some reference physical process. References are things like the number of rotations of the hand on a mechanical stopwatch, the number of rotations of the Earth on its axis, or the number of oscillations of a cesium atomic clock. Logically, science has used the cesium atomic clock as the reference for all other references. But the cesium clock is just a physical process, so we have all the other references being relative processes to the cesium atomic clock process. The upshot of all this is that science does not use or know how to measure any kind of absolute time phenomenon. It is always the relative behavior of physical processes. Science has discovered that time as we think of it does not exist. The relative time between physical processes is completely local to the physical processes themselves. We can say that before the Big Bang, when there was supposedly no matter, no energy, no quantum fields, so no space, that there could not be any kind of relative time that was even possible. Therefore, there was no infinite past, no million-year past, and not even a 1 second past before the Big Bang. We actually should not even call the relationship between physical processes relative time. It is just a relationship of the relative numbers that are counted by the references. A disappointing thing about the non-existence of time is that there is no possibility of time travel, because there's nothing to go back in and nothing to go forward in. They realized that time was not an independently real phenomenon that exists in the universe. Time is always the result of relationships between different physical processes. Without physical processes, time does not even make any sense. We can conclude that conscious space is timeless, since it does not contain any physical processes.